Let's stay along the coast and go to the western region where Concerned Mothers Association and 3 families of the murdered Takoradi girls are appealing to the general public to support them conduct an independent forensic test on the bones retrieved by the police. This came up at a news conference they held a couple of minutes ago. My colleague, Natalia Kwanza, was there and joins us live with more. Ina, tell us more about this morning's news conference.
Okay, Daniel, so the Concerned Mothers with 3 of the families. When I say 3 of the families, that is the Kwesins, the Bintum, and then Ruth Abakan's family. They said that they still hold the conviction that their daughters are alive. It is a way to just scrap the case off, and then they are demanding for a copy of the DNA test. But I have with me Mr. Anzakobna, who happens to be the grandfather of Ruth Abekan, the first of the girls to have been kidnapped and subsequently they said murdered. So let's speak to him. Mr. Kobna, you are making a strong case that you believe that your daughter is somewhere. You want them to question Madam Tiwa. You've made a lot of cases this morning. Why do you say all these things when they have already been sentenced to death?
Okay, thank you very much. What you are asking is reality. You see, you cannot accept things that you are not aware of. You cannot accept things that genuinely you cannot prove to us, because evidence that police brought to the Attorney General to prosecute the case was not detailed. It was not detailed.
How?
Because the bones that was retrieved from the well. Now I am telling you, the well is being used, and they are drinking from the well. If really those people were the skeleton of our children, how is it that the EPA allowed that very well to be used? They are still drinking from that very well. 2, you know, before the DNA test and before they brought the whole thing to that, it has kept about 6 months. No one will die within 6 months, and all the skin will rotten out of the bones. And the bones that they shown to us does not represent our children.
How do you say that?
The problem is that when there is a dead body or a carcass for more than 6 or 8 months, you could see the bones, you will see the skin rotting out of it. You can see it. But this one is very dry, more than about 40 years. Bones that they use it as a scapegoat to tell us that our children have been killed. You ask the pathologist, what instrument do they use to kill their children? You couldn't tell us. How long have they killed their children and kept in the hole or the well? You couldn't tell us. Even at all, the pint they shown to us was a new one.
How can you
pick it up? The color and the situational of that very seat will be new. But this one was a new, it's not a dirty. The thread in the beans was a new one. You know, when you go to buy thread at the market, you know how it is, how new it is. And when you use it, you know how it got to there. I'm a married man. You see? And everything. The children, my granddaughter has got this, some of the canine. The canine, the pregnancy was decayed. But what they showed to me, they have a set of teeth. At the same time, I told the pathologist that the height they showed to me is longer than my granddaughter.
But you were also making a demand for the DNA result. This is not the first time you've made that demand, and they've not given it to you. Yes, so how sure are you can get it?
Police refuse. Not that police is refusing to give us the DNA. Even first of all, you demanded the skeleton to go and use it for our own test to identify. They told us that they won't give it to us. Later, they told us we should go and bring the specialists to their hospital to conduct. They use the method that they use to conduct it for them to use it. There's an answer story. You have done your part. Give it to me, let me go and do my part. When they tell me that I should bring that in, later when the IGP says, okay, they send the whole team to court And it was court order that they used to conduct all this. So if you really want to do this, you also have to go to court. Later when he was telling us.
So why don't you go to court?
How do I go to court? Why do I go to court? Because court like that, let us say State Antonio, they cannot investigate. State Antonio does not investigate cases. It is police that investigate cases to give it to the State Antonio to prosecute. So when police investigate wrong things, the prosecutor will prosecute wrong. And as far as the police, they are having a hand of that narrative. You will have it because they say they don't want to give it to you. How do you go to court and bring them? Now that they say they are dead, how do they know? You know, they have not spoken to the kidnappers.
So you also want to speak to the kidnappers?
Yes, the kidnapper is here. You say this person has been kidnapped my children. Let him be. And you also, okay, where is my people? Where is the better? But the man says he has not killed anybody.
But there were evidence.
What are the evidence?
23 witnesses.
What are the evidence?
You were in court.
I was in court and I proved to them that my child is with Tiwa because I don't know where the child was killed. Was he killed at Accra or Secondary Takoradi? Because he saw it vividly. And there is evidence that Tiwa saw the evidence and gave us assurance that we should keep quiet. He should be very calm. And the children will be with us. Within that very period, how come? By killing. This is the question to be answered.
And you also demanding to see some police officers who aided Udotech to escape, alleged aided.
Yes, I want the police officers that reported the case and they denied to take action. We want them to bring them to court. We want the Tiwa to come and substantiate his evidence in court to the whole world. What he spoke to us, it was in the whole world. So we want her to come and identify this in the extreme, in the whole world. We want IGP also to come and give us a fact finding of that very thing because the pathologists and the DNA officers, they told us they will come and brief us.
And have you not?
And they did nothing to that. Only that to know is IGP was standing before the TV telling us that they conducted it. But that was not the agreement.
So what was the agreement then?
Agreement was that they are going to test, the DNA go to test and find out. And he will come and describe how he got the result to us. But he didn't come and tell us anything.
So now that the case has ended, they've been sentenced, are you not taking the bones? Are you not going to do any burial service for your daughters? 3 families, one has already accepted it.
Yeah, he knows that what he was saying was right. But to me, there's nothing shows that my granddaughter is there. Because I don't see any evidence, proper evidence to show that my granddaughter is there. And where they retrieved the bones, it does not show that really that was my granddaughter's dead body. It wasn't like that. Because before you can accept it, unless you get the reality, you want to see the whole reality. And we are not going to accept it. It should come out. Bring all those people involved, all the police personnel that they are involved in all these very cases from 29 July to date. You know, the crime of the district commander, Takoradi district commander, who refused to prosecute the case, you know, was transferred. And all those people involved, they have transferred them. They are not there. Whom are you going to question him?
All right, Daniel. So you heard that is Mr. Ansapabla. He is the grandfather of Ruth Abeka, the first of the girls who have been kidnapped. That was on the 29th of July, 2018.
Yeah, Natalia, you said that 3 families were represented, 4 girls were missing. Does that mean that the family of Priscilla Mantibia Cranche does not want a DNA test?
Sure, Daniel. If you would recall on when they were sentenced that day, he said for him, he believes in the evidence the police have brought. He believes that the evidence they have shown throughout the 2 years sitting in court, the 23 evidence, he has come to understand the fact that indeed his daughter is dead, and then he has no evidence or he cannot show where his daughter is over 2 years. He has come into conclusion that indeed his daughter is dead.
Now, what kind of support do these families want from the general public? Is it monetary support to fund the DNA test, or is it simply advocacy and moral support?
Well, then, they are demanding for monetary support, advocacy, and more support from both international and then local bodies within the country and outside, financially and then advocacy. They said they are not going to rest until they are able to conduct an independent forensic test and then ascertain by themselves that this is their daughter's bones. The sentence that has gone on, they have seen it, but they still hold their conviction that their daughters are alive.
Have they put out any amount of monies that they need?
Not yet, Daniel.
Right. And Natalia, so I heard the grandfather of Ruth Abakan saying earlier that in spite of the fact that these two men, John Oje and Samuel Olutekwills, have been sentenced to death, they still maintain that these men are innocent. So how does he really feel, or how do they really feel about the fact that two people are going to be killed?
Well, Daniel, you see, I think we have to direct the question to Mr. Ansah. How do you feel that these two have been sentenced to death? The two, Udacek and then Uchi, how do you feel that they've been sentenced to death?
I don't feel anything. I don't feel anything because I don't know them. Those people, I don't know them. The first time they arrested them, I haven't made a report of kidnapping, and they have arrested some suspects. They have to invite the family, and this very man is here. Mr. Koblan, this is the man you suspected that he kidnapped your granddaughter. Now, if I have anything, I will also ask you. But nothing sort happened. You always go here, they are going here. They come within 3 or 4 minutes and they close the they are joined. And they say they are joined from magistrate court up to a high court. There was nothing that you spoke to them. They didn't make anything for us to speak to the suspect. Only that they have been going there, guarded by armed men and go to this, go here, go here, go here, go here. Until you write our report, and they brought the report, and they sit and doing the questionnaire to prosecute the case. You couldn't have any chance to speak to the suspect. Suppose they allow her to speak to the suspect. He may also think otherwise to tell us where the children are. And you feel whether this very people is agent or what, because he says the traders are not with them. He did it one job. Just didn't take anybody. He did not take anybody. He did not kill anybody.
So do you think they are innocent?
To me, the problem lies in that the lady who spoke to me first is still nowhere to be found. The lady who first spoke to me on the 29th July 2018, telling me to bring them 30,000 Ghana cedis before my grandchild was there. Josephina doesn't. How can the police don't bring those very people? The women are around with them and they were to go here and there. No lady has been arrested. No lady. The Ghanaians with the Nigerians, no Ghanaian has been arrested. They are just choosing to bring in the Willie, bring it here. How do we run away from that very side? They said nobody. There was no proper investigation. How? If somebody is in prison, how could he get a chance to run out without breaking locks, without breaking doors, and got out from the?
But the police said the market circle called around there that they did see that he did cut the blade over there.
Blade? What blade? Where the cells are, the blade. Can the blade that cut the cut from where? Police were there. That very year, there are always police at the station. How do they not get to know his what happened when he was cut? Why do he get the blade inside the cells? You have been at the cells. When you're going to cells, they search you and bring everything. that with the saw or use it to kill yourself. Why do you get the brain? This is a mystery.
Oh, Daniel, so you heard Mr. Ansakwamna. He said this is a mystery to them.
Right.
So they still want to speak to the convicts now, and then the public should support them. And they also still need some answers from police and government officials.
Nathalia Kwanzaa, thank you very much for those updates. We'll keep you updated in later bulletins.